Modes confuse a lot of guitarists because they're usually taught theory first, music second. The truth is, modes are easier to play than they are to understand. Today I'll show you the method I've used with hundreds of students to get modes into their solos right away without getting overwhelmed by theory. And for those of you who want to understand the theory, we'll go over that too, but only after you've got something practical you can use in your solos right away. Let's go. In the last video, which I'll link up here, we talked about converting the pentatonic scale into full major scales just by adding 2 notes. We can use this same approach to get modes across the whole fretboard. Let's look at a couple of modes that work over an A minor chord and how they relate to A minor pentatonic. So here's our A minor chord on the 5th fret. And here's our pentatonic, which has 5 notes, A, C, D, E, and G. For A Aeolian, which is another name for A natural minor, we just add B and F. For A Dorian, we add B and F sharp. For A Phrygian, we add B flat and F. So with the pentatonic already in place, it's much easier to just fill in the blanks with 2 notes than it is to learn an entirely new scale shape. And once you've got that, you can record yourself playing an A minor chord, then improvise with these modes to get them under your fingers and in your ears. So that covers minor, but what about major? Well, if we play these same shapes over a C major chord, we get 3 major modes. Here's our C chord on the 8th fret. We'll use the same pentatonic shape, but now we'll call it C major pentatonic, and we'll start it on the pinky because that note is a C. So our A Aeolian shape with the B and F becomes C Ionian, which is just another name for C major scale. The A Dorian shape with B and F sharp becomes C Lydian. The A Phrygian shape with the B flat and the F becomes C Mixolydian. Let's improvise with these modes to hear the difference. From just one pentatonic shape, we've pulled out 6 modes, and since there are only 5 pentatonic shapes on the guitar, you can map every mode across the whole fretboard the same way, by just adding 2 notes to the other pentatonic positions. Let's go over the theory behind all of this. There are 12 notes in music, but a major scale is built from just 7. The pattern is tones and semitones. A tone is 2 frets, and a semitone is 1 fret. And the formula goes like this: tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. The easiest one to think about is C major scale because it has no sharps or flats. So that gives us C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Now here's where the modes come in. If I take the same C major scale, but start on a different note, I get a new mode. If we start on D, we get D Dorian, then E Phrygian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian, A Aeolian, and B Locrian. So what's the point of all that? What difference does it make if we start the scale from different notes? Well, it doesn't really make any sense until we start to talk about what chord we're actually playing over. So let's get into that next. Just like you can build a mode from each note in the scale, you can also build a chord from each note in the scale like this. Now here's the connection to the modes. Major chords go with Ionian, Lydian, and Mixolydian, and minor chords go with Dorian, Phrygian, and Aeolian. Diminished chords go with Locrian. So we can see that C Ionian goes with the C major chord and F Lydian goes with the F major chord. But when I play that, it's really hard to hear the difference between the two modes because they contain the same notes of C major scale. To really hear the difference, we need to compare C Ionian with C Lydian over our C chord like this. So now I bet you hear quite a difference, but all I did was change the F to an F sharp to change from Ionian to Lydian. That's because the formula for Lydian is tone, 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 semitone, tone, tone, semitone. So if we do that, we get C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and C. But that's a lot of theory to take in if you're learning it for the first time, but you don't need to understand it all right away to start using modes in your playing. That's why it makes sense to lock in your pentatonic shapes first, then expand them into modes that you want to explore. And if you want to learn the 3 pentatonic shapes I recommend starting with, so you can convert them into modes across the whole fretboard, then watch this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.